Monique is
beautiful, powerful, incredibly intelligent,
fun, flashy,
multi-talented as an actor, as a comedian.
Fantastic and a joy to work with.
When I was a teenage girl, what was I dreaming about? Well, I'm walking in it. I'm still dreaming. I said, God, I want to be famous. Everywhere I go in the world, I want somebody to say, hey, Monique. And everywhere I go in the world, somebody says, hey, Monique. So I haven't stopped dreaming. Before I came to Hollywood, I had a life. I was a mother, I was a wife. I knew what it was like to work a 9 to 5. So I have a different appreciation coming into Hollywood after you know what it's like, baby, working paycheck to paycheck.
We used to work at a store called Hoster Combs. We worked in the houseware section. And she was always fun, exciting. Ironically, true story, she worked here at 15 years old. Supposed to have been 16, so she's always been a hustler.
Started my modeling career, I was about 17, 18. Walked into this store, and the owner named Rhonda, she was there, and she said, you are the prettiest fat girl I've ever seen. You want to do a fashion show? And I was like, for real? And that night I became a model. My transition into comedy was really from me teasing my brother. My brother had gone down to a comedy club in Baltimore called Burke's, went up on open mic night and was horrible. They booed him, they cut the mic out, they cut the lights out, they started throwing stuff. So I was teasing him, and I said if I was on stage, I would have said. And I did 30 minutes of what we know now is called a routine. My first big break was the day I went to work at MCI, and I walked into Alan Postel's office, and I said, Alan, I quit because I'm going to be a star. And he said, I believe you. And he signed me out, and I walked out that door. And at the time, I had a son that was 2 years old and did not know where the next meal, how we were going to pay the rent. That's when my big break came. Not when I got the big check, because that's the gravy, but the big break comes is when you make it your big break. Nobody else can make your big break for you. That is solely up to you.
When she told me, Rodney, I'm going to go into this comedy entertainment field, she had that same type of tenacity and zest and always believing that, you know, that she can change the world.
You know, oftentimes people ask me the question of what gave me the confidence? How did I do it? And oh my God, because they're looking for this magical answer. They're looking for this great recipe. Do you know what it is? It's 2 simple words. I believe. That's it. I believe the day I walked in this office that I would be able to sit in a movie trailer. I believe the day I walked in this office, I would perform in front of thousands. I believe that one day I could be a billionaire. I believed it. That's it. That is it. All you have to do is believe. And if you believe in your heart, for you wonderful Christians out there, if you believe in your heart, don't you know the rest will be taken care of? The Parkers came about really on a fluke. I had done a talk show pilot. At the same time, Queen Latifah did her talk show pilot for the same network. They walked into the office, and the president of that network says, I don't know who Monique is. Pass. We're gonna go with Queen Latifah. My agent at the time and the producer of the talk show at the time had the talk show tape. They were going to have a meeting with Larry Little from Big Ticket Television. They were going to sell someone else. Well, when they put that person's tape in, he said, they don't pop. I need somebody that's gonna pop. Bring me back somebody that's gonna pop. Well, they just happened to have the tape of Monique. They put that tape in. That meeting was at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. By 5 o'clock that night, we were negotiating the deal for the Parkers. I had never done television. I had never auditioned, but I'll go back to what I said. All you have to do is believe. Belief and preparation equals any damn thing you want.
My very first day on the set of the Parkers was absolutely incredible. I used to get these memos, and they would say, you must park outside the gate and then walk into the set. And they would CC all these different people. And I was one of the CCs. So I thought that I had to park outside the gate and walk to the set. So sure enough, I parked outside the gate And I'm walking across this long parking lot, baby, but I'm so full of excitement, I wouldn't have gave a damn if I had to walk 26 miles. Oh my God, I'm going to be on TV. So as I'm walking across the lot, one of the exec producers comes up and says, "What you doing?" I said, "Oh, I'm going to the set." So they said, "Well, why are you walking? Where you coming from?" I said, "Oh, I got the memo that I had to park outside the gate." So they started laughing and said, "Monique, don't you understand that you're one of the parkers? You have your own parking space." And when they took me to see my parking space, I cried, I danced, because I'm like, oh my God, like for all the years of being in my little Geostorm and my Ford Festiva, going around this country to make $25 after driving 27 hours, for coming up in the red sometimes when they didn't have my money and wanted to pay me in food. Does that still happen? Yes. Did I turn it down? No, because no money and no food doesn't go together. So at least I got the food. To come into that day, seeing that parking space was one of my proud moments that I'll be able to share with my great-great-grandchildren. How did I keep going after a #1 show? Because that's just what it was. It was a #1 show for that show. And now I want to do something else.
Monique was the host of BET Awards 03 and 04.
All right, y'all, welcome to the 2004 BET Awards.
Many of my favorite Monique moments come just from her revealing her wardrobe to the audience when she walks out for the first time. She loves to change clothes. She spends a lot of time changing clothes during the shows, and when you see when she comes out, it's all worth it. At the press conference before the 04 show, which was her second show, she said, "I have this great idea. I'm gonna do the Beyonce dance from Crazy in Love." I thought about it and I said, "Oh, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be really funny." She said, "Oh, no, Steven, that's not gonna be funny. It's gonna be good." And what she did is she hired a choreographer on her own and got a few dances on her own and literally worked for 2 months to put that dance together. But when it came, game time, she was absolutely on it, as you can see.
She's a tour de force, brilliant performer with a very wonderful soul, and a kind and generous heart, and a hard worker.
Monique is sexy as hell. Before there was a video, we picked Sister Big Bones for Rip the Runway. For Size Sexy Women in 06, we used that song. And when we were putting the piece together, and Anthony Hamilton was working on it, and we had the women walking, we'd always say, no, you got to have the attitude of Monique. You've got to have the attitude of Monique as you walk the runway. As you rip the runway, you got to have the attitude of Monique during this song.
Monique says that when she walks into a room now, that she doesn't feel like she's the most beautiful black woman in the world. She doesn't feel like she's the most beautiful, full-figured woman in the room. She feels like she's the most beautiful woman in the world in that room.
I want to write a book. Do you, Monique? Yes. And it's going to be a New York Times bestseller. And one agent said there's no way in hell this book will ever sell. We don't like the writer, and her name is Sherry McGee McCovey. We have to get you a different writer. We're going to introduce you to one of our writers. So that sister called me up crying and said, "Monique, they called me and told me they couldn't use me, and I understand." And I said, "Listen, sister, we're either going to sink or swim together. My name is Monique, and it's Monique's book. And I hired you to help me write this book." And in 7 days, Skinny Women Are Evil was a New York Times bestseller.
She's probably one of the strongest role models that we have right now for African American women, in that she has made a statement. She's made a statement about a large woman, and that large woman is beautiful. And I was trying to make that statement too with Shadow Boxer.
Shadow Boxer came along actually a year and a half before Shadow Boxer came along. I met Lee Daniels at the Monsters Ball after party in LA. I was really honored to meet him because that brother's doing some incredible things. Like, Monsters Ball was incredible.
I wanted to work with Monique because I find that some of the best performances from actors are from comedians.
So a year and a half later, I get a phone call. It's Lee Daniels. "Are you ready?" "Yeah, I'm gonna send you the script." and it was shadow boxer, and that role was intended for a 21-year-old white woman that was a size 0 with big boobs.
I went with what my spirit told me to go with, which was Monique.
Lee Daniels is a bad boy, and he took me to places that I knew I could, or I thought I could go there, but what made the difference is I'm known as the funny lady. I'm a comedian, that's my thing. And when he sat me down, he said, listen, you are a crackhead. You're a functioning crackhead.
You make me laugh one time and you're fired. One time and you're fired. This character is a sick, do not make me laugh.
And then I said, you know what, Lee? I know her. I know that character very well. When you say action, I'm gonna show you that I know her. And when he said action, I showed Lee Daniels that I knew that crackhead.
She's fabulous. I couldn't ask for anybody better to work with.
Then I said, I want to do a fat girl show for fat girls. And I want us to have our own beauty pageant and our own Miss America. And when I went to those networks, they all had a look on their face like, who in the hell wants to watch fat girls? But then when I went into Oxygen, they said, well, wait a minute, let's see.
Well, Monique's Fat Chance, it's her brainchild. You know, I think Monique realized that the majority of American women are size 12 and above, yet that is not reflected in what you see in the media. And so I think that she really wanted to give full-figured women a voice, a platform, and a stage. And what better way to do this than a beauty contest? The first year's winner, Joanne Bordello, she actually became a full-figured model for the Wilhelmina agency. Our second year winner, Tanisha Malone, is also a full-figured fashion model, and she's done runway.
I think it's hard anytime you're not the standard look, shape, size, complexion to make it in a very, we like it along these lines type of Hollywood. Monique has been proud to be her size. She knows she's sexy at whatever size she is. It's all about what's up here.
She has a huge following. She's giving these women a real opportunity to see themselves reflected back on television.
I love the fact that she's taking her personality and made them into television shows, right? Charm School, her etiquette is impeccable, and she's imparting that on those less etiquette fortunate.
These ladies need my help. Let's go.
She's taken Fat Chance.
Last year, our mission was to show America that beauty comes in more than a size 2. And fat girls responded overwhelmingly.
And use that to help the self-esteem of other people on that show.
I want to write books, TV, movies, cartoons, magazines, you name it, I want to do it. And you know why? Just because I believe. Was the youngest of 4, 2 girls, 2 boys. Parents still together after 40 years. Had a really good childhood, nothing abnormal, nothing really good. It was I think in my childhood from my dad is where I got my oomph from. I don't know if I was necessarily the popular one, but I was always outgoing. Like, I knew when I came in there, the party was getting started. Now, some people may not have liked that, so that made me not so popular. But I was always outgoing. I was always gonna speak it, say it, feel it, and then do it.
One of my favorite moments on the BET Awards is when she publicly thanked her son for letting her work on his birthday, because the award show fell on his birthday one year. So family was important. She actually asked her son if it was okay before she said yes to the show. I think she remembers what's important and what's important in everyone's life as opposed to the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, and that keeps her grounded.
I love being a mom. I love seeing those babies look up at me like, you her? How you doing? But I'm also very grateful and thankful that I have other people in my life that love my babies as if they gave birth to them as well. They have a wonderful father.
I wish I could put my husband in a bottle and shake him up and let women drink that and taste it, because he's beautiful.
He was always laid back and reserved and classy and refined, so it's just really fun seeing those two guys together. It's just amazing seeing those two guys together. I'm extremely happy because I think she feels very protected. She literally married her best friend, and it's just a powerful meeting of the minds, how they flow.
When someone knows you sometimes better than you know yourself, it's magical. Like when my husband walks into a room, I melt. Like my husband is my fantasy. My husband is my fantasy. When I go to fantasy place, I see that man walking in the room. It make me tingle and tickle, and it makes my body go, God, you gave that to me? Like, I truly believe that. And when people say you shouldn't worship man, I worship my husband because I see the God in him. I see the God in him, and he is the most incredible human being I've ever encountered in my life. Sidney Hicks is the most incredible human being I've ever encountered, and it's different because he knows me and he gives me the freedom that I'm too scared to give to myself sometimes. He'll say to me, what you want to do? You know, I want to do this. Then go do it. Go be as happy as you can be in this lifetime. Because if you're as happy as you can be, then you're going to make me happy. And I'm going to be happy as I can be. So this time it's different because when I look at him, it's like, oh my God, you sent me him. And I had nothing to do with that. And I got out of my own way. And you sent me a piece of you. Oh, I see the God in my husband. And I hope on my last day, this is my hope, when they get ready to take me away and I'm going to leave this life, I hope I'm surrounded by my children and their children and my husband, and I'm taking my last breaths and I'm looking at that man like, oh, you gave me such a wonderful time. Then I'm going to ask everybody to leave the room so we can hit it one more time. So he can hit it one more time before I go to glory, baby. I haven't stopped pinching myself. I always say, God, for real? Like, they want to come talk to me for real and know how I feel? For real? So I'm still in that space, and my prayer is to keep me in that space because it's an honor for you to want to interview me. I'm honored, not the other way around. You want to hear what I got to say? You want to take a picture with me? I know how I'm paying my mortgage. It's not because I'm doing nothing magical. It's because the people are saying, we dig you, sister.
It's great to see when a hardworking, fun-loving, wonderful woman like Monique succeeds.
I think her future is bright, and she has lots of different things that she can do.
In 5 years, I think Monique will continue her domination of all media she cares to conquer.
I just see Monique really expanding her empire and just really getting the message out to people to love themselves, to believe in themselves.
Monique is a strong black female. You can't have enough of them. And she, I think by her comfortable in her size and comfortable in her actions, empowers women everywhere, empowers people everywhere.
Can't remove my professional legacy from my personal legacy because for me, they go hand in hand. I want people to say she had integrity. I want people to say she had dignity. I want people to say she had self-pride, self-love, self-respect. So I can't separate them because if you walk in that every day, well, they're all going to happen to merge. Yes, do I want people to say she was funny? Yes. Do I want people to say she was a great actress? Oh, yes. But that don't mean as much to me when people say, but she stood up. She stood for something and she was fighting and pushing ahead. That's what I want my legacy to be. All those other things, baby, that's going to be what it's going to be. But when they speak of me, I would hope
that they said she stood for truth.